Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this afternoon's conference regarding alternative dates for the consultant in docket number 2022-351-E to provide the consultant's or present the consultant's report and be available for cross-examination in the proceeding. And Staff Attorney Alicia Clausen is also present in the hearing room with me, along with Ms. Melissa Purvis and Ms. Gwen Richardson. So let's begin by asking who's available, who's participating, if you don't mind, in this afternoon's conference. We'll begin with Santee Cooper of the South Carolina Public Service Authority.
Good afternoon. This is Steve Pelcher here, Santee Cooper, and Ashley Cooper is also on the phone for Santee Cooper.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Pelcher and Mr. Cooper. Thank you for being present. And Mr. Middleton's just not available today. Is that right, Mr. Pelcher?
That's correct.
Awesome. All right. Our consultant for docket number 2022-351E PA Consulting Group, who's present and participating?
Good afternoon. This is Charles Janicek with PA Consulting.
Good afternoon, Mr. Janicek. What about Central Electric Power Cooperative?
Hi, this is Chris McDonald, counsel for Central Electric. John Tinkin had a conflict this afternoon and couldn't participate, but I will be here on the call.
Thank you, Mr. McDonald. Who represents Nucor Steel? Berkeley?
Hey,
Nucor
good
Steel.
afternoon. This is Rob Smith with Moore Van Allen representing Nucor Steel Berkeley.
I'm not accustomed to seeing that your Nucor Steel's name like that, Mr. Smith. Good afternoon. And Department of Consumer Affairs, is anyone present? Okay, we've already, and then I know I have one other participant. The Office of Regulatory Staff.
Good afternoon. This is Ben Mushkin.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mushkin. And is Miss, are you by yourself today?
I am. Miss Given is on annual leave. She was planning on calling in, but I don't think was able to from where she is. So I'll see if I can handle it today.
Okay, you got it. You have it. You have it. All right. I think we've accounted for everyone, all the parties in the docket: Central Electric Power Cooperative, Nucor Steel Berkeley, Office of Regulatory Staff, Public Service Authority, South Carolina Public Service Authority, and PA Consulting Group. So we are here today because PA Consulting Group notified the Commission that it is not available to present its report on the date we'd originally scheduled. July 24th, Mr. Janicek?
Correct.
All right. So, Ms. Clausen, did you want to tell everyone about some dates that we found to see if they're available?
Good afternoon, everyone. At this point in time, the first possible date that would be available is August the 18th. However, there are a number of caveats to that. The first being that an avoided cost proceeding is scheduled to start Monday of that week, and in the event that it runs over through Friday, then this matter might have to be postponed. In addition, it is possible that one of the commissioners that would participate in the actual hearing in 2 weeks may not be available that day, which would exclude that commissioner from participating in this case. The next set of possible days would be starting September 11th. It could be the 12th or the 13th. So,
Mr. Belcher, did you, Ms. Clausen and I were discussing this earlier, did you indicate in some documents that you filed with the commission that you had a time frame, your client has a time frame in mind for the hearing to conclude? Or am I not recalling correctly? Mr. Belcher?
This is actually Cooper.
Oh, okay, sorry. Mr. Cooper.
I can check with Mr. Peltry, maybe having some difficulty. Let me just text him real quick.
Hi, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you now.
All right, thank you. On August 18th, I'm certainly available on that date.
Okay. I don't know why I thought, I'm not recalling correctly. I thought that you filed something stating, a time period that you preferred that the commission be able to hear the entire case. But I'm obviously recalling incorrectly. Do you have a problem with? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm good with the 18th. We did not suggest any dates. We only suggested a status conference.
Okay.
So we could all discuss it.
Okay. I did not recall correctly then. Okay, well, what about the other dates, the September 11th, 12th? That's a Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
I'm available on those dates as well. I can't speak for Ashley Cooper, but I'm available.
Thanks, Steve. Those dates work for me as well. So, yes, September 11th, 12th, and 13th, I can confirm availability.
Okay. Thank you, Public Service Authority. Mr. Janasek, what about you and your availability on August 18th and on September 11th through the 13th?
Thank you. I'm certainly available on those dates in September. I was hoping that of all the days in August you mentioned, it would not be the 18th, but you did. I can do the 18th. I'm just curious if anyone has any idea, is the hearing just going to be one day, or if it would stretch into the following days? It was unclear to me, sort of, from the original order, how many days would be allotted. So I could do the 18th. It would not be my preference. I would prefer September, but we'll defer to the rest of the group.
Okay, so your preference is, and see, I don't know how many days. Ms. Clausen, do you have any idea? Well, I don't think we know at this point.
at this point, I think that it was scheduled to start on the 24th, and I think we had the potential for it to be continued on the 25th if necessary. But at this point, we have already utilized that time frame. I believe that the anticipation is that one full day would be sufficient. And if it does carry over, there would be an opportunity for that to take place if this started on the 11th or the 12th or even the 13th.
Yeah, the bad part about it is if we don't finish August 18th, the Dominion gas rate case begins on the 21st.
That's exactly right.
So, yeah, there's a risk. There are a couple of risks.
There are several risks associated with the August the 18th date.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Hey, Jocelyn, this is Dan, and not to interject.
Yes, sir.
Different, but if I could just ask a question. So, I don't think it really occurred, at least didn't occur to me until today. What this reminded me of was when we did the avoided cost proceedings a couple years ago, and the consultant provided the report separately. And then I think in that proceeding, I think this was back in 2021, I think the consultant, or excuse me, the parties had the ability to file rebuttal testimony to respond to the consultant. I don't know that would be necessary, and I'm not trying to inject something new, but I know that the commission's directive indicated the parties could ask questions, but I didn't know if that was a similar procedure we were thinking about here, or if it would just be cross-examination, or had y'all thought about that?
Mr. Mushroom, I don't think we thought about that. I know the commission definitely wants to make the consultant, available for cross-examination, but I don't know that they wouldn't entertain a schedule for rebuttal testimony. I just don't think we thought about it. I know we've given a lot of thought, especially after the first avoided cause proceeding regarding making the consultant available for a cross-examination, but I don't think we thought about it.
Yeah, and I don't think, I was kind of going back to look, I don't think that anybody actually did file rebuttal in those dockets, as I recall, so I don't think it wound up being an issue. And I don't know that it would be an issue here, but since it occurred to me, I at least just wanted to highlight it. That would add a layer onto it, and I don't know that maybe Santee Cooper may have different feelings since it's their application, but at least just wanted to highlight that, or at least point it out.
Yeah, and I wanted to look. I think there's plenty of time, because if a party wanted to ask to file rebuttal, because the pre-filed testimony letter has a deadline for the PA consultant's report to be filed no later than July 5th, Mr. Mushroom. And
Okay.
so I'm looking at the notice dated December 13th, 2022. And I know there are a lot of matters in there, but look at matter ID 3111856. Okay. So I think there's time if a party wants to request. Okay, wants to request or ask the commission to file rebuttal testimony. So we have time for that. Especially if, Mr. Pelcher, is that you?
No, this is actually Cooper.
Oh, excuse me.
So just to be clear, we're saying like we have in other proceedings that Santee Cooper would have to request the right to file rebuttal. But you said what is the deadline for making that request? Just want to make sure I heard that correctly.
Mr. Cooper, I don't think there is a deadline. I think the commission would want, there's not a deadline. There's not a deadline. Yes, sir.
I just want to make sure I hadn't missed something.
No, sir.
I didn't think okay, thank you very much.
No, there isn't a deadline. I was just pointing out the fact that in the pre-filed testimony letter dated December 13th, that the deadline for PA Consulting to file its report is no later than July 5th. So if a party or parties want to request, ask the commission to set a procedural schedule for rebuttal testimony related to the consultant's report, please do so. Just put that in writing and ask the commissioners. Yes, sir. Okay. So we heard from Mr. Janicek, whose preference is the week of September 11th, 12th, or 13th for PA Consulting to present its report to the commissioners and the other parties in the hearing room. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Janicek. What about Mr. McDonald with Central Electric Power Cooperative?
Any of those dates will work for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McDonald. And Mr. Smith?
I believe any of those dates will work. I think preference would be September 11th, 12th, or 13th, but any of the dates will work.
Thank you. And Mr. Mushroom?
Can you give me just 1 second? I'm just trying to, I thought I had everybody's, I generally think any of those dates work, but if you can just pause for 1 second, let me just.
Sure, take your time.
My folks to make sure I've got. Trying to juggle multiple different calendars here, so. think the 11th works. I think the September date should work as well.
So, Mr. Mushroom, you said September 11th works. Were you trying to tell?
Yeah, I think the 11th, 12th, and 13th.
13th.
I think.
Okay.
And Jocelyn, it may
Yes,
be
sir.
helpful, if I could just, maybe all the parties can just circulate just to double check, and I can email you by the end of the day, but
Okay.
make sure there's not something I'm forgetting, but I think we're in good shape.
Okay. Yes, if all the parties, is tomorrow okay though, Ms. Clausen? If they email us by tomorrow? Yeah.
That would be fine.
Yeah, I think, yeah. So if you can just email everyone by tomorrow to make sure that you haven't missed anything on your calendars, we'd appreciate it. Did I miss anyone? I think I called, but it's possible I missed a party. We heard from Public Service Authority. We heard from PA Consulting, Central Electric Power Cooperative, Nucor Steel Berkeley, and the Office of Regulatory Staff. Okay. I'm not a psychic, but it looks like we're going to end up the week of September 11th through the 13th. But we'll wait to hear from everyone, tomorrow. No later than close of business tomorrow, please. Ms. Clausen, do you have anything else?
No, that's all.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else that any of the parties want to talk about this afternoon related to 2022-351E and scheduling of the consultant's testimony?
I would just add that I appreciate everybody's flexibility in rescheduling.
Yes, sir. All right. We hope you have a great afternoon. Thank you, Ms. Richardson and Ms. Purvis.
Thank you, everyone.
You too.
All right, thank you
Okay.
all. Take care.
Thank y'all.
everybody.
Bye-bye.